If you're doing virtual wholesaling, how do you get photos of a property if you are 1,000 miles away? I get that question all the time. And so in this video, I'm going to share with you the top 3 ways to go out and get photos, as well as a bonus tip on how to store your photos and how to then be able to share those photos with other real estate investors, even if you don't have a website. This guy's coming at us like super fast. All right. So for clarity's sake, we're talking about virtual wholesaling, which is where we're going out, putting a property in the contract to then find a buyer to take over our contract. And we're doing it in a market that we have no physical presence. So it's thousands of miles away. We can't go there. So we have a seller that's interested. We may place that property in the contract, which I would recommend. Go ahead and just do the best you can in terms of looking at the photos on Google Street View, and then try to get the property in the contract before you go out and make any sort of investment in getting photos. However, let's go with the easy way first, which is to getting it from the property owner. Now, with a property owner, what you could tell them is that, hey, Mr. Seller, in order to expedite underwriting, it would be great if you could just take a couple photos, a few photos of the property for me. Otherwise, then I have to go out and get someone to go there, take photos. That prolongs it by 3 or 4 days. And many times they'll say, yeah, no problem, anything to expedite things. So what you're gonna do is then you're gonna ask the seller to take a variety of different photos. And so you may want to jot these down, may want to pause the video and have it come back to it, but you're gonna have to tell them, I need exterior and interior photos. You can tell them to take the photos from their phone. Now, want to make sure that they don't text you the photos, because whenever somebody texts you photos, the quality degrades. So you want to be able to just tell them, go ahead and email me the photos. So you want them to email you the photos, and you're gonna tell them to take a photo of the back of the property, one of the right side of the property, the left side of the property. You want a photo from the house to the backyard. You want a property from the house to the front yard. You want to go, tell them to go to the front yard, take a photo. And in all this, you should send the seller an email and say, here's what we need. From the front of the house, facing the house, take a photo. Then you want a street view as well. And that's, you want also not only a straight photo of the house here like this, but you also want one off to the side as well, one off to the left and the right, and any damage to the property. So if you ask the seller, hey, the seller says, hey, there's some damage to the property, it's okay, I know it needs work, but it will help me if you just take a picture of that as well. Then with the interior, you need photos of each bathroom, photos of each bedroom, photos of every single room in the house. You need at least 3 photos of the kitchen, because the kitchen is one of the most costly repairs. You want to make sure you get as many photos as you can. You're going to need those for the cash buyers. Photos of the appliances, because you want to know the age. Sometimes the seller says, oh, the appliances are new, but then when you look at them, they're like, yeah, they're new like 15 years ago.
Now newly styled and more beautiful, more convenient than ever.
But not today. You also want photos of the garage, if that is applicable. You want, again, photos of the windows so that you can see exactly what's there. So it's a little bit overwhelming if you think about it, telling the seller that you need all these photos. So it's very important that you get the seller something that they can look at and just kind of go through and take each of these photos. My camera guy says that I should give you the checklist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this checklist to my camera guy. He's going to put it on the YouTube description, and then you can just copy it from there. How about that? See, look at what kind of nice guy I am. What about if there's a tenant at the property? If there's a tenant at the property, tell the seller, if he doesn't mind, if you're going to go ahead and ask the tenant to take photos of the property. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If you're able to get the photos from the tenant, you can call the tenant and say, look, normally I would pay somebody to do this, but if you're up to it, I could pay you 50 bucks, I'll send you a PayPal, and here's the photos that I need, and I need them done this way. And they many times will be happy to do that. Sometimes you have to smooth it out with the tenant and say, hey, look, I'm looking to buy the property. I'm not looking to get you out of the property, anything like that. Just looking to, they're looking to sell, I'm looking to buy. It would really help me if we can help me with the photos. Normally we pay someone, but I can go ahead and pay you. So with a tenant, you would follow the same process. You would have the Google Doc, you send them that in terms of the photos, what you need. They would take them for you, and then you would just PayPal them. Now, what about if the seller couldn't take the photos themselves, or maybe they just thought it was a pain in the butt, they don't want to do it, or maybe the tenant couldn't do it? Then you have to hire a service. The service that I recommend here is BPO Photo Flow. BPO Photo Flow. So BPO Photo Flow, really they do it mostly for real estate agents. Real estate agents have a property that they have for sale. Maybe it's with a bank that owns it, and so they would need somebody to take exterior photos, interior photos, so they hire this service here to take photos. But you can use them for you as a wholesaler. And typically it's an appraiser that has some extra time because they're roaming around town and it's a way for them to make extra money. So they'll go ahead and sign up for that service, and then you'll get somebody that takes you photos of the property, but they'll also maybe give you some additional information about the property and things that maybe wouldn't be apparent to just a regular lay person. And so using a service like BPO Photo Flow, you will have to pay them. I would get as many photos as you can, so you're probably going to be right under $100, depending on the area, depending on how many people they have. But getting them as a service is also an option. So we really talked about 3 ways to get the photos. One way is to have the seller give you the photos of the property. You give them a Google Doc. I'll include all the items here in the description so that you can go ahead and put that together. That's one option. Another option would be to get the tenant, right? If there's a tenant living at the property, so you would get the tenant to go ahead and take the photos. The other way is to go ahead and pay for a service like BPO Photo Flow. Another one that I just remembered now, it would be a real estate agent. So many times you can find a real estate agent in the area, and you could get them to do that for you. The only thing with real estate agents is, unlike the BPO Photo Flow, they're just there to take photos and that's it. You don't know what's going to happen with a real estate agent. Are they going to be asking the seller a bunch of questions? They're going to ask you a bunch of questions, and then the whole deal is going to unravel. So I'd rather just deal with the first 3 options than not the real estate agent. The final step is you have all these photos. Now you have people that you're reaching out to, cash buyers, and they want to see the photos of the property. The easiest way to get those photos over to them would be just to take and put them on a Google Drive folder. When you put them on a Google Drive folder, it allows them to just click on the link from any mobile device on their desktop, be able to click and see all the photos. You don't have to worry about putting them on a website or making this real nice fancy thing. Then you don't need that. It complicates things. That's my recommendation for getting photos of the property. It's a question that a lot of people have and they struggle with that, and you don't need to make it as difficult as it perhaps you might think it is. I've sold many properties where we didn't have photos, and we just told the buyer, hey, go to the property, take a look at it. I don't have any photos. I think here's kind of based on what the seller's telling me, it might be different, but you go look at it, and you could say, oh, by the way, would you mind taking a couple pictures for me while you're there? And many times they're willing to do that. Doesn't hurt to ask. Maybe they'll say, what are you, a jackass? I'm not here to do your job. But then they may think that, but they're probably not going to say that, because most people are not going to say that. So let me know, is this helpful to you? Click on the description. You can get this list of all the photos right there on the description, and give me a thumbs up. And my students are having tremendous success finding deals nationwide all across the country using Facebook ads, online marketing. Click on the video that's going to pop up here or there. It'll give you a 4-part training on exactly how to find motivated sellers online. Click on it here or there. I gotta go because I got a call to make.
Run, Chris.
Yes.
Run, Chris. No. You're late for your call.
I'll be late in 2 minutes.